Conversations Podcast. Here we are again. How's it feel?
It feels great.
Outstanding, outstanding. Conversations, you can see us every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or let me just say Pacific Time, because we're going to be changing time pretty soon.
Sunday, yes.
Yeah, it'll be something different. But that's where you can find us. And what we seek to do with Conversations, it's a program where we create organic conversation with ourselves and or with experts, and we seek to help empower and inspire others. We seek to bring things and conversational points and perspectives that help people on their journey of life.
So if they spend 30 minutes with us, their lives, hopefully they leave with a more enriched life.
Or they leave with nuggets towards solution-based thinking, whether they're going from good to great, or they're in a great place and looking to sustain it, or they're in a rough spot or a bad spot looking to get back to baseline to grow from there. Or wherever they're in their life, we meet people where they're at.
Absolutely.
And the conversation is all intended to bring value to people's lives and in senses like that. And today we are actually blessed to, well, first, before I say who we're blessed to, because I want to say, tell people who you are. Of yourself? Yeah, I get ahead of myself. I get going on this program.
I know.
This program gets me excited.
I am Lisa Bybee, and I am the Lisa Listen part of Just Talk, where I empower and inspire women specifically, and also the VP of Marketing and Sales for the companies and podcaster.
Which you do a very, very good job of, and that's a good thing. And so what I'll say to you this is, I now, to assist and support both the company and you, am professional speaker, life and success coach, executive coach, and on the speaking side with the training and the workshops, those are phenomenal. Getting to work with some of the best companies out there, that's exciting, whether it's Mirage Entertainment, well, I should say Mirage Resorts International is what I should say.
There you go.
And Anderson Ideology, and what's another? How about Kelly?
Aristocrat,
yeah, Aristocrat Technologies, and then you have Word of Life
Dr.
Christian
Willerson.
Academy. Yeah, fun stuff, Dr. Willerson. Good stuff. Well, all that's very cool, but what I really want to do is get quickly to our special guest, who is Stephen Lambert. Stephen Lambert, welcome to the program.
Welcome.
And Stephen Lambert is someone that we call we call him the Dream Master. You created the Dreamin' Foundation.
Yes.
What is that, Stephen?
So Dreamin' Inc. is a company that helps people establish and realize their dreams.
Okay.
Whatever that might look like to them.
Okay, fair enough. Ooh, that sounds exciting, doesn't it?
That does, indeed.
Let's start with that. I want to get into that a lot and deeper, but what I want to know first is, our subject and title is How to Turn Your Dreams into Reality. So this program is going to be about how to turn your dreams into reality.
It's a bold statement.
Yes, and you're going to help us figure that out.
And I have a little bit of a bio.
Talk to me.
This man.
Let's see the bio. So I want to know who he is.
Well, Stephen Lambert is a 27-year-old serial entrepreneur whose latest venture, Dreamin', helps people realize their dreams and significantly change their lives. He began coaching in 2012 when he realized that he could apply the lessons he'd learned from his background in technology, business, marketing, and sales to individuals' lives to help people get ready for change, accomplish their goals. Prior to Dreamin', Stephen ran successful web and graphic design companies for 4 years and has experience in positions ranging from lead web developer for an outreach program to product manager for an app worth over $1.5 million, ladies and gentlemen.
Lambert,
wow.
Round of applause. See, Stephen, I'm going to go Louisiana on you. You ready? I'm going to tell you like my mama would tell me. Boy, you smart. How's that leave you feeling?
That leaves me feeling great, especially because I heard the corollary to that recently when someone does something that you're kind of a little bit off about. It goes, honey child, go read a book.
That's probably from Louisiana, too. By the way, they call it Louisiana. They're not Louisiana.
Actually, from North Carolina.
Oh, okay, even better. Even better. Oh, fair enough. So, but you know what? The Dreamin' whole thing, before we get into that, can you play baseball?
I played T-ball when I was younger.
Okay. You know what a fast pitch is.
Yes.
How about a slow pitch?
Yep.
How about a curveball?
Yep.
I'm throwing you a curveball.
Awesome.
Because I think you can hit it. My favorite. Before we get into all of this, yes, set it up. Before we get into all this, I have a question for you.
Please.
Before we talk about the magic of what you're going to lay out in terms of dreaming, what kills the dreams of others? What kills people's dreams?
So many different things.
Yeah, just a few.
And it's
top of mind.
Doubt is one of the biggest things.
I agree.
One of my favorite quotes, the biggest thing that kills dreams is never starting, is doubting yourself enough to take that first step. I think society in general, a lot of times actually, lets us know that we can't accomplish certain things, that, you know,
Other
you can reach
people
for them,
telling us.
but yeah, exactly. The people around us, you know, I've noticed a lot of, you know, parents who didn't accomplish their dreams, kind of pass that on to their children inadvertently. And so you kind of see this pattern of the people around you didn't accomplish their dreams, so they tell you that you can't accomplish yours.
What do you think of what he shared so far?
Unless you get the right role model.
Exactly.
And,
Well, but like right role model may not be your parent.
Right.
You may or may not be.
So you find somebody that you know you're not going to let go because you have this vision and you have this dream. And if they're not going to help me get there, I'm going to keep going to the next person, to the next person, to the next person until I find that person that's going to get me where I want to go.
Very well said. Well said. So these are some of the things that kills the dreams of others. What else you got, Steve?
Let's see. So many.
I know I'm
different
challenging,
things.
but this is cool stuff because I'm really curious about that. Before we start talking about dreaming, let's talk about what kills people's dreams.
One of the things that most people don't think about when jumping into a new project or a new dream, if you will, is have they set up their life in a way that it won't interfere with what they're trying to do, whether that's finances, whether that's legal issues, health issues, nutrition, and things like that. So one of the things that we kind of do at the end of most of our programs is teach dream and sustainability. Of, you know, you make sure that your life is in order so that you don't get those curveballs for your dreams that can get you off course and can, a lot of times, if someone's not ready for it, it not only stops their current dream, but stops them forever going for anything again.
Very, very, very spot on. One thing for you, sir, on that.
Yeah.
Boy, you smart. No, really, that's very, very smart. It really is. So those are the things that typically strangle and hold people back. And sometimes they don't even realize that they don't realize that they're not even dreaming.
Yeah.
And I really believe that it starts with a dream. I think that I believe that it starts with a dream, and then for it to manifest and evolve into something else, it's got to find its way into a plan.
Yeah.
And then that plan has to find its way into action. And then when roadblocks or challenges or hurdles come, you have to be willing to ask for help. You have to be willing to create and invent and find and discover resources. You got to keep going. If the dream is powerful, if you're connected to that dream, if it's true, if it's real, then nothing can stop you from getting into that dream. You have to keep at it, right?
Yeah. So a couple really interesting things on that. I'm glad that you mentioned that it starts with a dream.
Because we're going to ask you, where does it start?
And and that a lot of people, you know, don't know their dreams. When I first established Dreamin', it was actually called the Dream Factories back in 2012. That was the first brand. And I was actually just setting out to find people who had a dream and to help them.
Sure.
You know, I had a large network. I had a lot of resources available to me from the business aspects and things. So I was going to go find people who had an idea and didn't know what to do and get them going. And then I kind of hit a roadblock and realized that most people have no idea what they actually want to do. They don't have a dream.
And that's what I was going to say. What if somebody doesn't know how to dream? How do you ignite that within?
So we start by really looking inside. And I know that you guys do a lot of this within your coaching, but it's that introspection. It's that learning who you really are, what you really want.
Yes.
It's an inside job. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah. You know, that's a good point. And you'd be surprised how many people that may have a wonderful success path, that they're into what looks like a successful life or successful career or whatever. And when you ask them that very simple question that you just said, what is it that you want? Many people cannot answer that.
Yeah.
They cannot answer. The simple question is, what do you want? It's not a difficult question. Why do you think it's so difficult to answer?
Because people don't like to talk about themselves. It's hard.
Unless they're narcissists, then they love talking about themselves.
Fine, but it takes all types to make
Fair
this
enough,
world, right?
fair enough.
So,
and I would say we were never told to. No one
Or taught. Yeah.
Or even taught the way to, even if we wanted to.
Sure.
So I had
Good
to go
point.
on a personal journey, you know, for myself to discover that and to get to where I am. And so I use a lot of those tools and techniques, as you say, tools, systems, and processes.
It's true.
To actually get there. And that's what I end up teaching to others as to, hey, you need to learn more about yourself, because you see a lot of times someone going for what they think is a dream. You know,
Sure.
I want to launch a company. I want to launch this.
Sure.
But they don't even know how to best interact with people. So let alone knowing who they are and what's really driving them and what their motivators are and what gets them up in the morning. And so going for a huge dream, they're almost bound to fail, because they're going for a dream that's not really theirs, because you can't have a dream unless you know who you are.
Right. You make some really valid points with that. The one that stands out for me most in that last piece that you just shared is the journey part. Is so many people, even if they do have something that they put out there that they're striving to get towards, they may put that out there and they focus surely on what that outcome is and not develop a process to get there.
Mm-hmm.
The journey is part of it. So how do you help people with that journey piece?
So there's a project management style that I actually adopted specifically for dreams and people who are dreaming, and I call it dream-driven planning. And it really focuses on that journey instead of the end goal. And if you don't mind, I'll share a little bit of it here. So you start at A, and most people want to go from A to B, which is their end goal, their end dream, whatever they're calling it at the moment.
Sure.
And so they go to step A1 and then A2, and eventually they want to get to B, but life doesn't work that way. Your dreams change, you grow. One of the things I always say is that your dreams transform you into who you're meant to be.
Okay.
So you're even going to be changing on this
along
journey.
the way. And you have to recognize that and be aware of it.
And shift on the fly.
Exactly. So when you go from A to A1, there's a good chance that your dream went from B to B1. So you're growing and changing along the way, and so is your dream. So it is all about the journey. It is always about that process.
That's a good point. I also say that you want to strike a very clear vision.
Yes.
Of what it is you want. Not just to know what you want, it's got to be crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you, what is your crystal clear vision? I want to ask Lisa as well, but what's your crystal clear vision for what does Stephen want?
So my purpose here, I know, is to help people establish and accomplish their dreams. And so my vision right now is for Dreamin' to become a worldwide organization, to have Dreamin' centers in each city where there are dream coaches, dream mentors, and dream masters that are helping people get on this journey of whatever they are really meant to be doing.
Huge. So you see this in a three-dimensional form, not just a one-dimensional form.
Definitely.
That's huge. I like that. What about you, Lisa? Lisa, what is your dream? What is your big vision for yourself?
The big vision is to travel the world globally and help touch millions of lives. And Stephen is helping us get there with his apprentice skills and helping us develop those the tool systems and processes to a higher level and expand what we already have to a global
Audience.
field.
Yeah, to make that happen. That's really cool. I'm glad you introduced that. That's a great vision. We're going to step off point just for a moment. Let's talk about this apprentice piece just for a bit.
Well, before we jump there, I actually want to ask you that question.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Good, Stephen.
Well, for me, it's very similar to the two of yours. My clear vision is that I know my purpose. My purpose is here to really empower and inspire others. And how do I do that? We do that through a pillar system. We do first off, understanding what that is one thing, but then constantly re-upping the game by continually to educate and experience things, and then bring those back into our experiential coaching for others, whether it's a success coaching or personal coaching or professional or executive coaching. That's a process and way we get to see that manifest. Also, to speaking from the stage where you're in workshops or keynotes or those sort of things where you get to help masses of people. That's another way to do it. So my ultimate vision is to help as many people as I can before I die. And typically from the leadership level, because I know when we help leaders at the top of an organization, let's say that I help the leader of, let's say, MGM Resorts International. And let's say that particular leader has 10,000 people or 8,000 people underneath
Or
him.
62,500.
Well, yeah, that would be at even a much higher level. Then all those people, all those lives are affected in a positive sense because that leader is getting to a better place and is even leading from a different space, almost like you mentioned from the dreaming concept. Yeah. So that's my concept. My vision is to be that conduit of exchange, is to be that vehicle where people can connect with, get it, and go do it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
I
now
also
back to
love
the-
that we're actually we're actually all on the same page as well, and I think that's why we work so well together. Dreamers
Definitely.
finding other people dreaming similar things.
Funny thing you should say that because we reached out for some assist. We were having some trouble with our computer at home. And it was a printer situation a couple years ago. And Lisa reached out on Facebook. Is there anyone out there willing to help us, blah, blah, blah? You were one of the folks that responded.
Yep.
You responded stronger and more powerful and kinder than anybody else on Facebook at that time. We did not know you.
Nope.
at all. And I was blown away. And you offered your services because you wanted to help us.
Yeah.
And that's how we met. What do you think?
And then it's evolved and turned into a great partnership.
Yeah.
And now you are our apprentice.
You are the apprentice. And talk to us about that process and how you feel about it and how we can continue to evolve it. Love to hear it.
I want to add one little thing to that
keep
story.
adding
Oh,
stuff.
right.
I love
He
this
keeps
guy.
putting off the apprentice. Do you not want to talk about it or what?
No, Stephen is part soul sister. Talk to the man. No, go
I learned from the best.
That's right.
Can he be soul brother? Is he a soul sister?
Well, but sisters are quicker to tell you to talk to the hand.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Go ahead.
I was actually looking for a life coach to be my mentor
Nice.
at the time that popped up, and so
Wow.
just realizing who I had just offered help to was, is this really? Yeah, I
There
put
are
it
no
out there.
accidents. There
Universal
are no-
connection.
yeah.
When you came into our home for the very first time and we dialogued, I told Lisa, I said, this guy could be my son. This man is finishing my sentences. And I'm not about people thinking the way I think. I could care less about that. But it was spooky in a way that almost every thought that I had, you could finish the thought, and the finishing point was how I would have finished it. I was blown, and still today it happens.
Yeah.
That our rhythm is such a powerful rhythm, and that is no accident.
No,
There's
not
a
at
reason why that happened. Of all the people that responded, why Stephen Lambert? Because we were intended to make this connection.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of that connection, the apprentice program
Thank you.
that I'm not putting off anymore has actually been incredible. It's really helped me on my transition from going from the business side to actually working with individuals, because there's a lot of hurdles there.
For sure.
And it's a completely different experience, one that I've learned a lot from both of you on. So I do appreciate that. But it also allows me to employ the skills that I've spent most of my life developing to help and give back to you both.
And it's huge. You do it in your sleep. You do it. You help more. You're better with the help that you provide going out the door than most people coming in the door. You're changing stuff like you're walking to the door, and I'm holding my Mac while you're walking, and you get into the door with your keys, and you're doing stuff with one hand.
Yeah.
Oh, no, does he not do that?
Yeah.
It's, okay, let me get this one more thing tweaked for his keys, and he's
So true.
it's very fabulous. So it's powerful, and it's going to continue to evolve and turn into more things that we get to team up and do together to hit all of our visions to serve the people that we want to serve.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is that, you never know too much. There's never something that you can't learn. And so
Every day you want to learn.
I agree.
Every day.
I agree.
Me bringing someone on as essentially a coach to coach me as a coach was the best thing that I ever considered doing.
Huge.
A lot of people say, oh, I've spent 20 years in my industry, or I know this, or I have a good relationship, everything's fine. There's always more that you can learn.
Absolutely.
And a coach really provides that third perspective outside of the people that know you and work with you, because you don't know how much they've tried to work with you.
Exactly. It's true. Well said. Well said. That's
And a safe
really
place
good.
to come tell the truth. You
Yes.
know?
And an accountability partner
You want to
along with
get
that.
certain things accomplished and done, and you want to feel that the person you're confiding in is going to take you to the next level and feel good about it.
And is probably one of the only people in your life that truly have your best interests
Absolutely.
at heart.
Purely, and that's it. So but that takes me back to the dreaming community.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that dreaming community that you've envisioned.
So kind of like we said before, a lot of people are surrounded by people that, don't believe that dreams can happen, don't believe that they can realize their own dreams. And it's hard to be working on your own dreams in that type of environment. So kind of like you were saying, a safe environment to be completely open about what you're working on. That's really the core of the community. And there's two biggest parts. One is the exchange, and the other is the support. So the exchange is exchanging resources, exactly like we're doing. You have knowledge and experience that I really need, and I have knowledge and experience that you need. So we facilitated an exchange that benefits both of us much more than any monetary transaction I feel ever has.
It's huge.
And then the other side is that support. You're surrounded by people that are really pushing their own boundaries in their own way. And, waking up every morning and logging into that community and just seeing what's going on, things people are working on, is just incredible. Like, I know it's helped me so much. I really created it for other people, but I've probably been one of the biggest benefactors of it.
No, that makes sense, because oftentimes they say when you're reaching out with a solid good heart to serve and reach others, oftentimes the very thing that you're helping someone with is the very thing that helps you, or you are want in need of help with as well.
Yeah.
So that's that. So, and I think about the dreaming part. Dreaming gets a bit of a bad name oftentimes. Tell me why.
Because there's a song, I cannot remember the name of it, but it's basically dreamers get a bad rap. They're called daydreamers. They're called because I do understand that concept, because a lot of dreamers never take action because they're told they can't. They don't understand how to. And so I understand where that comes from, but we're changing that. Right.
And they say things like, you must be dreaming.
Yeah.
Like it's a bad thing.
Right.
Dreaming is where it starts. You think of some of the best people that have done have made some of the best contributions. I'm gonna pick Steve Jobs, top of mind. You think he wasn't a dreamer? He dreamed unimaginable things.
Yeah.
Because if Wozniak, which is really the brains behind Apple, didn't have a Steve Jobs, we wouldn't have an anything.
Right. Yeah.
There would be no
these devices would not exist.
Right.
No.
iPhone, iPad, computer.
Wozniak had the expertise and the intelligence to build it, but he didn't have that vision at the time to see it manifest. That came from a dreamer.
Yep.
Right.
And one of the things I teach is that you look at any doer who's really out there doing things. They always started as a dream. Started as a dreamer.
Do you think Steve Wynn is a dreamer?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that Sheldon Adelson from Venetian and Palazzo, you think he's a dreamer?
Walt Disney.
You think Walt Disney's a dreamer?
Oh, and he stuck to his dream.
Oh man,
he stuck to his dreams.
Love that man.
And he surrounded himself with people that matter most. Namely, one was his brother. If it wasn't for his brother, Walt may not have made it, because Walt was the dreamer and the brother was more the business type.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Walt was going to make it no matter what it took.
Yeah.
Well said. But good point. But what does it take? Let's talk about that. Walt was going to make it no matter what. What does it take? I believe one of the key ingredients, Stephen, is surrounding yourself with people that believe in you.
Yeah.
I have a wonderful friend.
And that are smarter than you.
Hopefully smarter than you. If you believe in you.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Exactly.
Yeah, well said. Well said. But when people are willing to invest in you, whether it's finances, time, discovery, getting you in front of other people, when people are willing to invest in you without you asking, you've got something.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I love it. I actually call it the dream team.
Okay.
That you build.
I like it.
And I see it having 3 core components.
Talk to me about that.
And it can be all in one person, but you need to have the 3. One is a cheerleader. You need to have someone rooting for you.
I agree.
No matter how many times you fall down, no matter what you're going through, no matter how off path you get, your support always there cheering you on because they believe in you.
Right.
Then you have your mentors.
Okay, fair enough.
Who have been there, who have more experience.
And guide.
Exactly. And then you have your peer. Someone who is on your level, who is growing with you. You guys can go back and forth, share ideas, concepts. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the same industry, but just someone at your level that's also striving for more.
I like that. And you know what? With that being said, we've heard this before, but I'm going to repeat it. You become what you think about most of the time.
And the 5 people that you hang around.
When you have the dynamics, what do you call your 3 what?
The dream team.
The dream team.
No, but you said you have 3, you call
core components.
Your 3 core components. With those 3 core components, those are people that you're spending the lion's share of your time with, and you become what you think about most of the time.
Yep.
And all those resources, and when you stir those up in that wonderful potpourri of an essence, of the French call it a je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi.
You know what? You don't have the words for it. It's so brilliant. That's when you know you have something. What are your thoughts, Liz?
I love it. I mean, he's my biggest cheerleader, and I wake up every day and run. If I've got a thought, he's the first person that I run it by. And if it passes his test, then I go to the next person, the next person, the next person.
We really do need. I tell you who said it best for me. Luther Vandross, who was one of my favorite singers of all times. He's so good. I really thought that he popped out of the womb singing ballads. I did.
He wasn't crying. He was singing.
He was crying. And he was, I don't even want to try to sing, but he was crying and he was singing it, right? But it wasn't true. He worked at it.
Yeah.
And he said something that changed my world. He said, he was on this program, and they said that he got booed off the Apollo stage. And he says, no, I didn't get booed off the Apollo stage. He says, I competed 4 times, and 4 times I did not win. But what that taught me, that careers like this is nothing more than a series of rejections. and it's about getting back up, just like you just said, and it's about getting back in the game. And he said, by the way, everybody needs someone else to help champion their cause.
Yeah.
And I went, what? Luther doesn't need anybody to change. He's Luther Vandross. Well, right. He wasn't always Luther Vandross. In fact, that's not even his real name.
Ronzoni?
Ronzoni is his real name.
He literally wasn't always Luther.
He literally wasn't always Luther. But with that being said, when he said that, Stephen, when he said that everyone needs someone else to champion their cause, it blew me away because I thought he did it all on his own naturally. And you know who championed his cause? Roberta Flack, Dionne Warwick,
and David
Bowie.
Wow.
Those three championed his cause.
Talk about cheerleaders.
He said if not for those three, you wouldn't know him.
Wow.
But what he did while he was attracting these folks to be in his corner, those three dynamics you talked about, he was doing the work.
Yeah.
You've got to figure out, Stephen, to make those dreams come true, what does the work look like? What does the process or processes look like? What is the timing on this, right? What do you guys think? You share. What do you think?
Definitely. I think a lot of people like to dream, again, going back to the negative connotation of dreaming, but then they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to go and do it, or it gets hard and they say, oh, this is more work than I thought. I'll go back to what I was doing.
Exactly.
It's more comfortable there.
Exactly. People will resort to the comfort. You agree with the same thing?
They go back to what they know.
Yeah. Well, I love this. Stephen, you're a wonderful guest on the program. Absolutely remarkable. I knew the time was going to fly off. We've got a couple minutes left, but I want people to know, tell our audience where they can find you. How can they connect with you to learn more about this dreaming community and the dreaming, that whole program?
So to apply to the dreaming community, you can actually go on our website. It's www.getdreamin, that's dreaming without the G.com. There's a community tab. You can click on there. There's a link to an application. Go ahead and fill it out. We would absolutely love to have you. Again, the website is the best way for you all to contact me and contact us. And yeah, those are the best ways to get a hold of me.
Very, very good. I like that. And I believe people will be tuning into this and they will get a hold of you. I know I'm happy to be tuned into you. Lisa, tell them where they can find us in terms of our Conversations podcast.
iTunes, Roku TV, Apple TV, Stitcher, RSS feed, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and, of course, the Vegas Video Network.
Yay! Very good. Very good, very good. And while we have about just under a minute left, talk to us about, if you will, about our upcoming event, Cocktails and Conversations.
Cocktails and Conversations is Will Edwards and Jesse Farrell at the Crepe in Tivoli Village, December 9th, Wednesday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., and it is an evening of edutainment, and Will is the entertainer, and Jesse is the educator. So together and combined, that is the edutainment evening.
Oh, look at that. I like that. Round of applause for that. Woo! Very cool. So give me a quick takeaway. This has been a splendid flow. Give me, what is your takeaway from being on this podcast program in terms of how what you do helps others?
I'd actually just like to close with the definition of a dream, which I think actually wraps up very succinctly everything that we've talked about. And a dream is a personal mission, like we talked about. You have to have that pull instead of just pushing yourself.
Yes.
That ignites your passion, again, just pushes you forward, and that transforms you into the person you were meant to be.
Look at Stephen go. I love that. I love that.
That's nice.
That actually leaves me feeling incredible. There's a concept that this cat here is definitely plugged into.
Absolutely.
What's that concept?
It's all about how you leave them feeling.